You're listening to Under the Crossbones, episode number 141. My name's Phil. I'm your host, Phil Johnson. It's me, again, like every week. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for telling your friends and visiting sponsors and all that good stuff that you do. I appreciate it each and every week. So here we are, episode 141. I did not find an interesting fact about the number 141, but what I did find in my Google search this morning was a strangely big number of businesses that use the number 141 in their name. There was like clothes and eyeglasses, and there was a racetrack and restaurants and parts of town, and just there was a whole bunch of like 141 businesses, but there doesn't seem to be any significance at all to the number 141. I thought that was very strange, very strange. My guest on the show today, Rich Manic of Captain Festus McBoyle's Travellin variety show, all the way from New Zealand. Yeah, this is a fun one. We're going to talk creativity and music and performance, and towards the interview, the end of the interview, we actually talk some shop about music. So we go off into a bit of non-pirate territory, but it's fun and it's interesting if you like to listen to artists talk to each other, which, I don't know, that seems to be 90% of the podcast universe sometimes. But anyway, it's a fun talk. You're going to dig that. And of course, you can find Captain Festus at captainfestus.com and just put that name into Facebook and he'll pop up there too. Really fun show. An interesting mixture of family entertainment and kids stuff and stuff that appeals to adults. And just go watch a video or something. I'll put a video in the show notes. Why am I telling you go watch a video? I'll put a video in the show notes so that you can see some of their work, and make sure you visit their website. They occupy a very strange and interesting niche in the entertainment industry, and even within the pirate industry. I think it's very cool. Busy. I had a busy week. Here's the thing. I have a doctor appointment this afternoon, and it's just like a regular checkup kind of thing. But the first thing they always do, what do? They put you on the scale and they weigh you, and that is probably one of the worst parts of the checkup, right? Like I can take the pulse, listen to the heart. That's all great, but they put you on the scale, and normally it's fine because I do pretty good. I eat right, all that kind of stuff. But this past week, we had Mother's Day was last weekend. We had my mom's birthday was also this week, so we did that Saturday and ate a big giant Mexican meal and some cake and some ice cream. And then Sunday was my girlfriend and I celebrating our anniversary 5 days late for 25 years. So we waited a couple extra days because it's still 25 years. But we spent the day in Monterey eating. I had some really good jambalaya. It was good jambalaya for California. Which means it's probably not great jambalaya for Louisiana, but it was good, and it was large, and I got very full. She had a seafood pasta thing, and then we ate ice cream at the Ghirardelli shop after, and so there was a lot of eating this weekend, and now I got to go stand on that scale at the doctor's office and look at the nurse give me the side eye. And like if you go to a big hospital, like the nurse will just write it down and kind of maybe not say anything. She'll let the doctor do it. Now I go to a little doctor's office and the nurse always has a comment, always like, So not looking forward to the doctor's appointment because I ate too much this week and I definitely am carrying around a few extra pounds this week. But anyway, that's coming up. But the anniversary was fun. Monterey was great. We watched the seals frolic while we watched an Asian lady pull seaweed out of the rocks. And I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to do that because it's a marine refuge, the Monterey Bay now. And I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to steal the seaweed out from the shore. But she was there for hours. She was there because we watched her from the coast. And then when we went to the restaurant, we had a bay window seat and she was still there for the entire meal, just stealing seaweed from the marine refuge. I don't know. Me, I would just go buy some seaweed. It can't be that expensive, right? I don't know. Do you like seaweed? I don't like seaweed. I've tried it. Oh, yeah, it's a point of contention in our house because my girlfriend digs it. But anyway, but it's so much going on this week. I have 3 days at home to get everything ready, and then I'm headed off to Michigan for a bunch of headlining dates. Let me tell you about those for a second. May the 24th, Spring Lake Holiday Inn in Spring Lake, Michigan. May the 26th, Coral Gables, Saugatuck, Michigan. May the 27th, Woody's Press Box, Wyoming, Michigan. May the 29th, Zanies in Rosemont, Illinois. May 31st, Quadden Casino, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. That's the tour. And then I'll come back here. June 1st, I'll be at Terra Amico in San Jose, California. Yay, hometown gig. And June 8 to 9, I'll be headlining at DeChico's in Clovis, California, down by Fresno there. I missed the Fresno Pirate Festival over the weekend. I did know it was happening, but had birthday and anniversary stuff happening. My friend Danny he texted me, and he's like, hey, you at the Pirate Festival? And I was not. I was in Monterey. So if you went to the Fresno Pirate Festival, let me know how it is. Shoot us a note over on Facebook or Twitter or something like that, and let me know how it is. The Facebook is facebook.com/underthecrossbones. On Twitter, we're at Under Crossbones. And let me know if you went to the Fresno Pirate Festival over the weekend and if it was cool. I'm sure it was cool. Of course it was cool. It was a bunch of pirates. And for the tour dates, and if you want to come out and see me tell jokes and sing songs, go to underthecrossbones.com, click the tour dates button, and you can see all the places I've got coming up. I got a bunch of California, Oregon, Washington, Tennessee, Canadian dates coming up this year. All sorts of good stuff. And, of course, pirate festivals. NorCal Pirate Fest is June 16 to 17. I'm going to try and slip in there for a couple hours and say hey. And then at the Long Beach Pirate Invasion, June 30th to July 1st, I will definitely be there and doing things on stage with a microphone in my hand. So that's going to be a whole bunch of fun. We're going to talk a lot about music in today's show because Rich is a singer and they are basically a musical group with a lot of variety, vaudevillian type of stuff mixed in with their pirate. You got to see their like stage sets and their costumes. They're amazing. They're really cool. But if you would like to learn how to play guitar, why would you not want to learn how to play the guitar? It's the best instrument in the entire world next to tuba. If you want to learn how to play the guitar, I have been a guitar teacher for many, many years, and I have a free program that you can jump in on called the 30-Day Guitar Challenge. And this is, if you've never touched a guitar in your life, or if you have, this will take you'll learn 3 songs in 30 days with just like 10 minutes a day of practice. It's such a small amount of time, it's so dumb to not do it, right? 10 minutes. You can find 10 minutes to play the guitar each day. And so do this. Go to underthecrossbones.com/guitar. That's underthecrossbones.com/guitar, and you can jump in on the 30-day guitar challenge. Like I said, if you've never touched a guitar before, or if you've got a little bit of experience and you just want to brush up your chops and learn some new stuff, that's where you do it. underthecrossbones.com/guitar. And of course, you can get all the show notes for this episode at underthecrossbones.com/141, because this is episode number 141, and we're going to dig in. All right, ready? We're gonna get in the jet and we're gonna talk to New Zealand, where it's tomorrow already. That's mind-blowing. I was talking to him in the future, and now you're gonna listen to him in the further future because it's already tomorrow in New Zealand. Here we go. Captain Festus McBoyle, aka Rich Manic, dig it.
It's quite cool. I mean, I know there's a huge pirate fraternity in America, right?
Oh yes, definitely.
Well, we don't really have one as such. I mean, we're oddballs in this country. I mean, we're freaks, to be honest. I mean, there's not many people doing vaudeville here. I guess we're vaudevillians. I guess that's what you call us. But
okay.
Well, I mean, New Zealand. Okay, we're family entertainers, but I mean, the good thing with us is we appeal equally to kids and adults. I mean, there's plenty in our stuff which adults have a huge laugh at, and kids, it's over their heads like the high seas. So. But there's still real beautiful connections with children. So we kind of, we are family. It's without being PC, we're a little bit naughty and a bit cheeky, but incredibly nice.
Yeah, that's interesting. And because, I looked at a bunch of your stuff and I was like, oh, this is, in America, a lot of what you do would be considered too edgy for kids. Is there a different allowance for that kind of cheekiness for kids where you are?
It's all in the delivery.
Okay.
It's all in the delivery. I mean, if there's something's a little bit risky, you move on very quickly.
Okay.
I mean, it's just, and there's only a few people that will actually probably get it. And then you move on from there. It's like, I don't think it's anything, it's no different from what was being done way back in the early days in music hall and panto.
Sure. Yeah.
We do the same shows in schools and preschool. So we don't have any problems here at all. We never have. You're always going to get one person that's going to go, "Ooh, that's a bit risque," but then that, if anything, that actually gets you more people coming to the next show. We did a library tour down in South Taranaki, and I believe there's quite a huge Brethren community down there. And we did this one joke, which is, hands up if you've ever had crabs for dinner.
Okay.
And so that's the entirety of the gag, really. You do it twice and move on. A song about a crab called seven-legged crab called Eileen. Got a brother called Neil. Not sure where to go from there, but it's bleeding good to that point. And that's it. And we had like a huge uproar with the libraries, and we got called into the office for a big meeting with the head honcho of the libraries in her horn-rimmed glasses and a check plaid skirt. And she turned around to us and said, we're a bit concerned about some of this material. And I said, well, okay, you did see what I did, and you booked me on what I did, and I'll do my best to pull my horns in, madam. And anyway, the next following lots of shows were twice as many people, because there'd been so much gossip within the town. They wanted to come out and see how bad it was. But they loved it, and it was a huge success. So I mean, you always get that one person, but that one person often works in your favour.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because I mean, in working comedy clubs and things like that I do, the clubs will sometimes back the performer and say, "Look, this is a comedy show. You knew what you were getting into."
Exactly.
But other places like doing cruise ship gigs and things like that, I've had friends get fired from cruise ship gigs because one person complained about a joke, and so I guess it just depends on the venue and how knowledgeable the audience is coming into that. But that's what really intrigues me about when you're doing a children's show and you do get in trouble for stuff like that. I think that makes the kids show so much more fun. The kids must enjoy it so much more, because what kid isn't thinking about that stuff?
Exactly. I mean, kids like poos, wheeze, farts, burps, spitting, sticky, horrible, gooey stuff. And that's kind of, if you hit one of those topics, you can't go too far wrong. But I mean, I like to think we're kind of very clever with our lyrics, and it's always double meaning to a degree, but I don't think anything that's un-PC.
Yeah.
And that's definitely why we're probably the busiest family entertainers in the country. I mean, we travel all over New Zealand. We've just been off to Melbourne, Australia, 21 shows over there, hugely successful. I guess the next step for us is the UK, America, and Japan. So, I mean, whoever snaps us up first, we're keen to go. We've been doing this for about 7 years now, so it's it started from doing. I mean, I was in rock bands for like a good 30 years, and then I decided to do this, and it's been the most fun I've ever had. And I have to say, it's been a huge learning curve. I was always too scared to do theatre, and then a partner at the time constructed me a pirate costume. Said, "You got a gig on the weekend? It's at the community centre, and there you go. Get on with it." And it was the best thing she ever did for me, because I just did it, and it's been amazing ever since. And it's gone from strength to strength to now doing festivals with 16,000 people playing with the full Auckland Philharmonia Orchestra at the town hall, and we've done some amazing shows. And but it's definitely time for us to leave. We need to expand our horizons, so to speak.
Sure.
Set sail.
Now that's crazy. So you're playing in rock bands for a long time as doing what? Singing, playing guitar?
Vocals, always front vocals.
Okay.
Lousy on guitar, good enough to write.
Okay. So now we have two rock singers on the show. Enough ego for everybody to go around.
Yeah. I had me moves, but just not me chops.
I see. Okay, I gotcha. So then, you had that initial pirate gig. What were you doing? Why would somebody offer you a pirate gig?
Well, it was just the school holidays, and me and school holidays, I tell you. School holidays, and they had nothing on at the community centre. So my partner said, "Right, you're going to go and do a pirate show." I was like, "Oh, okay." So there I was, thrown into this room full of kids who had this extreme pirate costume on with an hour's worth of makeup, and I still felt like it was me with nothing on at all. And I felt like an absolute plonker. But then I got through the door and just started doing it, and it was actually really fun. The response was great. It was a lot easier once I got into the flow of it. It was fun. But as I said, it's grown huge from there. It then got thrown its next challenge where someone said, "I want you to do a stage show," and I'm like, "Okay." We were only a two-piece at that time, and it was a place in Nelson, and it turned out to be, I didn't know anything about it, but it was the Nelson Arts Festival, which is a pretty big event here. Just walked into a hall which was jammed chocked full of people, doing a stage show which we'd never done one in our lives. It was just a series of songs with sort of interplay stories and silly banter. And we walked into a chocker hall, which I just about shat my pants at that point. But then we just carried on, and that was another big success. And from there, it's just continued to grow. We're now up to a 5-piece theatre show at times with 2 firing cannons. Yeah. But to cut a long story short, I'm on to my 7th guitarist and my 3rd wife within the show. So it's been a continuation of people coming and going. But then the trouble is, I work with such a high caliber of musician and performer that they have their own passion projects as well. So a lot of the time they get snapped up and they're off to Europe, or they're off doing their own recording project, or they're earning thousands of dollars doing their own project. So it's been a continual, I guess, flow of people coming and going. But now I've got a really solid unit, which is brilliant, and I think that's why it's taken us a while to sort of spread our wings, really. I think it's been just finding the right people and being the right time, and I think the right time is now. So
nice.
We're to leave these shores, as much as we love them. We're big fish in a little pond, and it's time to be the other.
Yeah, and I imagine that being a big fish in a little pond probably contributed to the success a bit, because here in the US we've got tons of pirate bands and loads of pirate festivals, to the point where it's a novelty still, because there are plenty of people that have no idea that scene exists.
Yeah,
certainly most people I do a show about pirates, and they're like, what, Somali or Pittsburgh? That's baseball and Somali pirates, that's all they know.
It's funny to say, we did a gig at the local library, which is for New Zealand Music Month. We decided to do a gig for community, and we turned up and we encouraged people to dress up. And there was one guy who painted his face entirely black, had a balaclava on and a machine gun.
Oh my
and he'd
God.
actually become a Somali pirate. And I thought it was actually really clever, but the librarians were quite concerned he was a terrorist.
Yeah, right.
It was hilarious. I thought, you're a brave man.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's funny. So I think maybe being the big fish in a small pond probably contribute. You guys are a very, very novel kind of act there that people just haven't seen. So I imagine that helps quite a bit.
Yeah, well, we're a blooming hard-working unit. We're self-managed, self-produced, self-funded. And every gig is through hard yards research and just hounding people and just basically smoke and mirroring our way into places and doing shows and pulling them off quite well. So, it's hard work, really. We're definitely oddballs, and we don't quite fit the mould of the children's collective.
Right.
We just, we're not sugar, but we're the anti-heroes in a way, and we're kind of the punk rockers of the kids' world, and that does, in fact, work definitely in our favour. So from what we started doing is actually doing what we call the family mashup, where we bring in punk bands and rock bands to do gigs with us, and we also have a kids' disco with Liberty DJ, and run it in a pub. So there's like a safe environment where a family can have a drink. They don't need a babysitter. Kids get to see rock bands and be inspired by rock musicians and just good musicians in general, and they get to see a quality family show which parents can watch without being sort of quite sickened with all the sugar. So they get a bit of a giggle as well. So it's been a really good successful formula running gigs like that. The last one we did at a place called the King's Arms, which is one of New Zealand's iconic pubs. It's been one of the first pubs in New Zealand, I believe. In Auckland. And we did a gig there on a Sunday, the first family mashup with a punk band called Tirana and another band called Galveston, who another well-known band. And we did the show with 2 family entertainers in a disco, and we had 444 people crammed into this pub. It was like the most sweatiest rock gig I've ever done in my life. And that was our first one. It was hugely successful. And the feedback was, all families need this. Just because you have kids, you don't want to stay home and sit in front of the TV forever. You still want to get out and see music. You don't want to give up your own passions.
Sure.
But you want to be able to include your children in those and hopefully inspire them to sort of carry the flag for the future. It was a great concept. That's something we've been just planning the next one now, actually. But, we're oddballs, but it does work in our favour. But it also does mean being a tall poppy, there's a lot of people want to cut you down.
Yeah.
There's that as well. It's good and bad. You take the good with the bad.
Yeah, certainly. And there's always going to be, I'm always figuring that if nobody is hating on you, then you're probably not doing your job quite right, and or you're not big enough yet.
It's true.
The first time somebody tweeted at me and said, "Hey, celebrities shouldn't discuss politics," I was like, "Hang on, did you just call me a celebrity?"
You just made my day.
Why, thank you very much.
That's a compliment.
So, tell me a little bit about the show. What can people expect to see? I would love. Oh my gosh, would I love to see a pirate show and a punk band on the same bill? That I would have killed to see that as a kid. That would have been amazing. But tell me a little bit about what your show consists of. A variety show is a very sort of vague term. So what goes into it?
Yeah, well, we were looking at that the other day. I mean, we're only one act, but we're definitely a variety of characters. I mean, that's probably the variety show is there's so many different people coming and going over the years. It's probably we qualify as a variety show. We're a motley bunch of misfits, really. I mean, we've got the captain, and then we've got the wife, Miss Lucy Draws, who's a white powdered-faced lady. And then we've got the strong man extraordinaire, who's a very camp man, and we call him Ebenezer Strong. And a little kid said to me the other day, she said, is he really strong? I said, yeah, he's the strongest man in the world. She said, can he pick you up? I said, well, he's been trying for years, but it ain't going to happen. So he's a very effeminate, sort of unusual character. So we're an oddball bunch, you know. We've got a human rat called Mr. Cheese, so he's definitely bipolar and ADHD. And he wears a frilly tutu with a big tail and ears and big hobnail boots, and he wears like a little frilly Marcel Marceau t-shirt and just meanders around and does stupid stuff. And then we've got Ethel, who's the cleaning lady. We call her the health and safety person. And she basically is the old, I don't know if you guys are Coronation Street over there, the old Hilda Ogden with the rollers in the hair and the hairnet.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Sort of 1970s dinner lady with the smock and apron and, always got the fag in the mouth.
Okay.
So we've got a really oddball bunch of characters. And then it's a collection of basically all original songs, slightly Monty Python, Spike Milligan, limerick-based, clever lyrics. Very catchy sort of hooks and stuff, and there's clever interplay between characters as well as story interlinks between the songs. And obviously, there's no real set list as such. It has a beginning and an end, and the middle is pretty much dictated by response from audience, and it just leads from song to song by depending on what people say.
Okay,
it's you never quite know what you're going to get, but it always pans out well.
How much of it is scripted versus improvised?
There's definitely. I mean, the key is, as you put, comedy. It's basically to have something looking as off the cuff as possible.
Sure.
In actual fact, it's rehearsed to the nth degree to appear that way. So there's obviously degrees of that. There's a lot of work goes into it. But obviously, once you get on a roll, anything can happen, really. And I'm quite lucky to have two very quick, clever people on either side of me. Who will definitely throw things back at me if I go a certain direction. So that's the whole thing. It's just so much fun. We have an absolute blast with it. So there's a degree of scripting, there's a degree of chaos, and I think the fun is definitely in the chaos.
That's very cool. Now, coming out of rock bands, how did you get away from writing rock stuff and into writing the Python-esque vaudevillian type of music that you're doing?
Well, what happened, I was, with the rock days, I was in a band called Running House, and we met this very interesting guy who was tied in with Curious Films. And I've heard of Bikini Bandits?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fuck Hollywood Productions?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was the brother of him, and he was our bass player.
Okay.
And we got commissioned to write a song for the Curse of the Pirate's Booty, Bikini Bandits and the Curse of the Pirate's Booty. And story short, we wrote the theme song for that song, that album, that movie. And what happened, I think they did all the filming. They flew the girls out. They helped with the recording and stuff. And we were planning to fly to Philadelphia to do all the MTV shows open for the movie. And I think, to cut a long story short, the animator fell through. Something happened. I think he spent all the money on drugs, I think. Something like that. And didn't do any animation, but he had a good time. And so consequently, the whole film fell over. And at that point, it was like almost being shown the golden ticket for us. And then it just got taken away. And at that point, I just thought, bugger it, I can't do this anymore. I've had enough. So close and fell over. And I just thought, I'm going to go and work at a school. So I did, and I ended up being a caretaker at a school. Not the janitor of sorts, I guess, but property manager of my place. And I started playing, I was learning guitar at that point. I was always been a drummer and a singer. And I started learning guitar, and it tended to attract the really oddball kids. And it was really great. I'm an oddball myself. And so we started forming, they all wanted to form a band. So I thought, okay, I checked it with the headmaster, and we started forming these little funny bands and writing silly little songs that the kids would sort of dictate where it went. And then we started doing little performances at the school. They'd choose their own hats, and some of them would want to wear feather boas and odd shirts and skirts and silly stuff. And so we had these silly little shows at school. So it stemmed from there. And that just got me thinking about my English upbringing, I suppose, and started writing little limericks, and it's always been something I loved doing, and then just put them to song. So I guess working with those kids and seeing how much they enjoyed it and the silly things that they came out just inspired me to be even more silly. So that was kind of how it came about.
That's amazing, because, I mean, what better way to learn how to write songs for kids than by writing songs with kids?
Exactly. So, yeah, that was some of the first pirate songs came out of there. Those little shows we did for the school, and I think, it was. I don't think the school quite knew how to receive those shows, but the kids and us and myself, we had a bloody great time. So that's how it kind of came about. And then I left the school and started working with special needs kids, doing music and drama, which kind of took it to the next level, where I started sort of exploring pirate artifacts and collecting that sort of memorabilia, and then incorporating it into, I guess, explorations for special needs kids, which is pretty much very sensory based in a lot of cases. And then I brought back in the songs, and it just expanded from there. Working with children in schools and then special needs kids, so music and theatre. Then basically just I left there and met some other unusually crazy people and started writing, and here I am.
Crazy. So
it's quite a journey.
Yeah, in working with special needs kids doing theater and music, that's got to be really intriguing. What kind of projects were you doing with them?
I guess I did everything from exploring pirate history and culture, the differences of culture, right through to incorporating drumming, so like basic drumming patterns on plastic bins with sticks and very primal beats. And what else did I do? I started exploring how to make recycled instruments out of odd bits and pieces of rubbish, and then turning them into instruments, identifying those sounds, and then building sound stories. So discarding what those instruments sounded like, and then building a story around those sounds, which became about performing behind a blanket, which is great because a lot of kids were really shy to perform in front of people. So we put a blanket, and it was about taking their turn, coming in when they needed to, working as a team, which was beautiful. And by the end of it, they were requesting to take the blanket down so they could show the kids without the blanket. So confidence level soared. And we're talking all sorts of different extremities of, special needs. I mean, it was a huge eye opener for me, just how many special needs schools and people there are.
Sure.
And how little I knew about it, and how not knowing about it is the scary thing. But once you know about it, it's amazing. It's nothing to be scared of. It was a huge eye opener for me. Incredibly high energy, incredibly tiring, but incredibly satisfying as well. Quite a magical time. But after I did that for about 3 years, and then I kind of moved on to do this full time.
Yeah, that's really great. I've worked with a few autistic kids giving music lessons over the years, and they're always an interesting challenge, but they're always some of the best students too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I still teach drums from home here, and I seem to attract the really interesting kids. I mean, I've got kids of all different natures, and they all work very differently. So you're always trying to find a way to work with them. It's no child is the same.
Yeah,
and I think it's just made me incredibly adaptable to just trying to cater for whoever I'm performing for. I've always got something to tie them in somehow, even if it's a bit of rope.
Yeah, adaptable, and really, I would guess it just shows you how to communicate with children of all sorts, which is handy.
And at the end of the day, I think we're all children. I'm just a big kid myself. I mean, we're all the same, really.
So when you do you, because like we were talking about, some of your stuff tends toward the edgier side. Do you do adults only shows?
Been asked to, but I haven't, because the problem being is if I start doing that, and then something that's really edgy or really a little bit risque or too risque gets seen on YouTube, then I can ruin my family side. So I've just preferred to just stay clever and just keep it as it is. and it still caters for both. And I draw the line at swearing and stuff. I mean, rehearsal's always funny because it's always really to keep it alive and keep it fresh. We're always cracking silly adult jokes in practice. I mean, if some of that stuff was to get recorded, we'd probably be arrested. But I mean, it is a fun way of it's a way of keeping rehearsals light. I mean, we rehearse 3 hours once a week. It's not a lot, but it's enough to get us through the sets. There's nearly 40 songs now, and to work on set pieces and stuff. So it's a full-on process, pretty intense for 3 hours. But I wouldn't change it for the world. And I think I've got a really strong troupe now who equally enjoy it. And it's good. I feel very lucky and very fortunate to be, I guess, to have these people working alongside me. And they're my friends. Lucy is my real partner. She's my partner. And and she has a little daughter, so I've become dad, which is really lovely. And she chose me, and life's pretty good. Can't complain.
That's great. So now, when you talk about taking it to other places, taking it to Japan, the UK, the US, are you looking at making any sort of permanent move out of New Zealand, or is still that going to be home base?
I think we can, because obviously 6-year-old daughter, we've got to think about her with school and stuff. So I'm thinking a few months at a time, and maybe with an au pair would be nice. I mean, I just think it would be a wonderful thing for a child to experience as well. I can't wait, really. It's we've definitely done our dash here, and it's time to move on.
Nice.
The Asian community just seem to love what we do. It's absolutely crazy, the reactions we get from the Asian community. It's almost a bit scary. They're just incredibly enthusiastic. It's and I think obviously what we do is kind of English based, so I know that it would work really well over in England and Europe.
Sure.
Americans, I don't know much about the Americans, really, to be honest. I see a lot of stuff on Facebook with pirates. I see a lot of adults in the pirate community. I don't know whether there's much of a family community there. I'm assuming there would be. I mean, I'm sure there is.
Yeah, there is. It's, I mean, with the pirate festivals and things that we have here, it's usually like 90% of the weekend is dedicated to family entertainment, and then there's some late night party that the other 10% happens, which gets a little crazier.
It sounds good. I mean, we'd love to come to America. I mean, I'm sure it'd be a real blast. I mean, there seems to be, as you said, a huge community. I think we'd go down very well. I mean, we're definitely Kiwiana as well. I think, Flight of the Conchords a Kiwi, so I think, and Taika, another Kiwi. So we've got some Kiwis out.
Yeah. Why do you think that the pirate thing hasn't hit New Zealand on a larger way yet? Because you've got Pirates of the Caribbean and all that stuff there too, and you are also a very small country surrounded by water. So there's got to be pirate lore somewhere there.
Oh, I mean, obviously, everybody loves a pirate. That's the truth. I mean, but for us, I guess what we were finding with work is that if we called ourselves a pirate show, we were very much typecast and pretty much only utilised for pirate events. So for us, we've kind of broadened it to more of a vaudeville with the strong man and the rat. And so we kind of push ourselves as a vaudeville, a musical vaudeville show, rather than a pirate show. But I mean, if I'm going to get further by calling myself a pirate show, I'm happy to be a pirate show. But yeah, I mean, the pirates are definitely loved here. There's definitely I think they did a survey here actually, and pirates were seen to be the biggest thing that kids actually responded to. So if you wanted to teach a child something, if you taught them as a pirate, you were going to actually get a lot more further than being any other character. Kids are receptive to pirates. That's pretty much the way it is. So there's definitely a liking and a love of pirates. But we have a lot of steampunks here. We have there's definitely a big steampunk community.
Really?
They're an odd breed, aren't they?
Yes.
Like old, failed Star Trek fans or Doctor Who people. It's kind of all, they're all a few of the steampunk festivals, and I love it. I love the costumes. Interesting breed. I've met some very interesting steampunkers. And we seem to fit in there as well. So I mean, I know there's a huge steampunk community over your way as well, isn't there?
Yeah, there definitely is. Wow, it sounds like a fascinating scene.
Yeah, I like the idea of just transcending age and culture. I think that's keeping the appeal as wide as possible. I think just it works in your favor.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic, and I can't wait until you guys bring it over here, or I come near somewhere where you are.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Is like for us, and we are in a small country. We are quite isolated. It's finding out the right contacts to talk to. Obviously for us, it's a long way to fly. So
Sure.
the logistics of just your flights and then having enough work to sort of make it a viable trip, because obviously you can't run at a loss. So that's the tricky part. It's meeting those people that can kind of steer you into the right direction. And yeah, so if anybody has that knowledge or is able to help, that would be awesome. I mean, they can check out the website, www.captainfestus.com. That's basically our main webpage, and that gives you everything there about some videos and links to Spotify. Got 2 albums on there already, A Pirate's Life and Ships and Giggles. Currently working on the 3rd, Bubbles and Squeak, and 4th, which is called What the Captain Did. So we're through the 3rd, halfway through the 4th, so we'll be releasing one of those at Christmas and the other one the following year. We've 2 books as well, 2 books on the go. They're being illustrated by a wonderful New Zealand artist called Will Saunders, who's a very talented man. So there's lots on the go. So they can check us out also on Facebook. Just go to Captain Festus McBoyle, and I'm set up as a public figure. That's our main Facebook page there. So there's plenty of stuff on there about us as well.
Cool. Did you make the 1,000 likes yet that you were looking
We
for?
did, 1,006.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. It's been hard work.
So that was, as explanation, that was not a vanity project to get 1,000 likes. You're actually looking for some funding that requires that.
With creating funding, one of the requirements here is 1,000 likes, and I've never worked so hard in my life to get 1,000 likes. I didn't think it'd be that hard. We've performed for thousands and thousands of people, but trying to get them to like your page is another thing. But no, we got there, and thank you for all your help with that.
Sure.
And all the American pirate community, I've befriended a lot of them, and they've all come to the party. So we're there. That's another tick in a box. So that's great.
Fantastic.
My current crew, I've got Larissa Loughley, who's playing Miss Lucy Draws. She is actually my real life partner, but she's also the captain's wife. She's an amazing costume designer. She's been involved in film and television, international films, that sort of level.
Neat.
She's been doing all our later costumes. She's amazing, and she's bloody good performer and a lovely partner too. Puts up with a lot of my carry-on. So anyone does that's got to be hardcore. And also my guitarist is a wonderful chap called Gareth Price, who's another ex-rock and roller. And he's also a surrealist artist. Gareth Price, New Zealand artist. Well worth checking out his stuff.
Cool.
He's a very clever man, and he's been great. As a 3-piece, we have a lot of fun when we travel.
I'll bet.
We'll be releasing a couple of singles very shortly. A song called Moolah, and which is a very country bumpkin song, which is quite cool. And another one called The Little Things in Life, and it is the little things in life that are really important. So that's a nice little song, but slightly Monty Pythonish, that one.
Yeah.
And they'll be released soon. We'll be about to start work on 2 videos for those. I think you might have Moolah. I think you've actually got that.
I do, yes. I'm gonna play one or both of those right after we're done talking.
Right, yeah. Well, they're the latest singles that are coming out. So yeah, by all means. Hey, can I ask you a question? Do you know the W Lovers?
No,
Okay. Fleur and oh god, just look for the W Lovers.
Okay.
They're because Fleur is she's in an old rock band called the Twitch, and she met an American chap, and they kind of fell in love, and they've been together forever. So yeah, they will be worth. They're a country bluegrassy kind of couple, cool. And with a little chap who's about 6. Yeah, so they're living full time in America.
Neat.
Yeah, the W Lovers, worth checking out. They're very proactive. They travel all over the place, working all the time, full time.
Sweet.
Doing music. They might be an interesting.
Yeah, definitely will. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me too. I'm becoming more and more into that stuff as I get older. I've really started to enjoy. We were listening to a band called the Pippy Pickers the other day, which is very bluegrass. I love that stuff. I'm really starting to really get into that folk feel.
And some of it is so difficult to play.
Yeah, it really is. It's all in the strum.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I was, total metalhead kid. And one night on, I don't know, one of the talk shows or something, they were showing these these just people living in the Appalachian Mountains, just these poor people living up there.
Yeah.
And they're playing music, and they're playing bluegrass music. And I was like, oh my gosh, these people are playing faster than any of the metal that I listen to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I've been really lucky over the years. I mean, I've had some amazing guitarists come through. Another chap called Zarek Silversmith, who's very Tommy Emmanuel. He's a legend on guitar.
Yeah.
And like amazing player, very percussive. And he was saying that when he started playing with me, it was probably the hardest stuff he's ever had to master. It was just stuff that he just was so not used to doing. And I've always tended to, besides him, everyone else has been of a rock nature.
Yeah.
So going from rock to folk is a huge transition.
It is.
That strum is just so different. It's nothing like you've ever done before. So it's basically been retraining rock musicians to play in this project continually. But in actual fact, what it's done is it's added a whole new element to their playing, and they're just thriving in it. It's been hugely responsible for actually making them much better players.
Yeah,
it's been a lot of fun.
Fantastic, man. Well, this was fun. I'm glad we finally got through our technical issues that I'm going to edit around later, and this was really great. I hope we can do it again soon.
Yeah, likewise. Just let me know if you need anything else, and I can flick things through, and I'll keep you in the loop at my end as well.
Sounds good.
See you soon.
Bye. And there it is, friends. That is my interview with Rich Manic, a.k.a. Captain Festus McBoyle, and his Travellin variety show. Yes, it's so fun. You got to check it out. I can't wait to see it live. I think it'll be really cool. And if you are involved in a fest or a booking thing or whatever, and you are interested in bringing them over, they'll do it, man. They will come over. So go to CaptainFestus.com. Festus is Festus, like it sounds. CaptainFestus.com, and you can see all the cool stuff that they're doing. So did you like it? Did you learn something? I want to hear your feedback on the interview and on the show. Come over to Facebook.com/UnderTheCrossbones. Hit us up on Twitter at UnderCrossbones. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you learned. There was some cool stuff in here today. We're going to hear a song from Captain Festus in just a second. We're going to hear their new track called Little Things is the one I chose to put in here. And so we're going to play that in a second. But we are sponsored today by Pirate Radio, The Treasure Coast, WKKC-DB, playing the best music of today's hits and yesterday's classics, and Pirate Radio Talk, playing the best pirate shows, including Under the Crossbones, 24/7, all commercial-free. Go to PirateRadio.TheTreasureCoast.com, that's the music station, or PirateRadioTC.com for the talk station, and you can also grab their apps, which is Pirate Radio WKKC-DB, that's the music app, and Pirate Radio Talk is the talk app. All brought to you by iTreasure Radio, the very best digital media from independently owned stations at iTreasureRadio.com. Good stuff. I got a free ebook for you, Alexander Exquemlin's Pirates of Panama or Buccaneers of America. If you've not read this book yet and you like pirates, you are missing out. This is a book that came out in 1678. Golden Agey pirate time right there. Boom. And Alexander Exquemlin was a doctor who ended up on pirate ships and wrote about his experiences, his adventures on the pirate ships. And so it's a first-hand account of being on a pirate ship in the golden age of piracy. So I got a free ebook version of that for you. Just go to underthecrossbones.com, click on the ebook, free ebook button, and you can pick it up right there. Or if you're out and about and all you got is your cell phone, text the word pirate and your email address to 94253. Just text the word pirate and your email address to 94253. It'll kick you back a little link where you can download the ebook right there, right to your phone. Very easy. So let's hear a song, shall we? We're going to hear a song called Little Things. This is their new single from Captain Festus McBoyle's Travellin variety show. Check it out.
The little things in life that make you happy, the little things in life that make you smile, the little things in life that tend to really float your boat, well, they tend to make you happy for a while. Oh, the little things like sauce upon the table, the little extra strawberry in the cream, the little things in life that tend to really float your boat, like the day you got to curtsy for the Queen. Because those little things in life that make you happy, the little things in life that make you smile, the little things in life that tend to really float your boat, well, they tend to make you happy for a while. Oh, the little things like sauce upon the table, the little extra strawberry in the cream, the little things in life that tend to really float your boat, like the day you got to curtsy for the Queen. Because those little things in life that make you happy, the little things in life that make you glad, the The little things in life that tend to really float your boat, make you grateful for the things you have had. Oh, the little things like soups upon the table, the little extra strawberry in the cream, the little things in life that tend to really float your boat, like the day you got to curtsy for the Queen.
Captain? What, Ratty? Can I play solo?
Yeah, go on then. Goodness me, a rat with a guitar! You're bleeding amazing! Little fingers and toes, your tail jiggling away, look at you go!
Isn't that cheesy?
Yeah, I think that's his feet. Because those little things in life that make you happy, the little things in life that make you glad, the little things in life that tend to really float your boat, make you grateful for the things you have had. Oh, the little things like soups upon the table, the little extra strawberry in the cream, the little things in life that tend to really float your boat, like the day you got to curtsy for the Queen.
And that is our show for today, friends. Thank you so much again for tuning in. I always appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the show yet, make sure to head over to undercrossbones.com, click that subscribe button, or whatever your podcatcher is. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Google Play or Overcast or Podcast Addict or any of those other ones that are out there, just hit Under the Crossbones and click that little subscribe button so you get the new shows every single Tuesday when they come out. If you want to find out more about Captain Festus McBoyle's Travellin variety show, go to CaptainFestus.com or put Captain Festus into the Facebook search bar because they've got a kind of a long URL. I will link it up in the show notes, of course, so that you can check it out. underthecrossbones.com/141. I'll put some video in there of those guys so you can see what's going on there. And I'll even put a link to the W Lovers like he mentioned in there. And I've listened to the W Lovers' most recent album, and it's good stuff. It's folky, bluegrassy, kind of... You'll love it. If you dig pirate music, I think you'll enjoy the W Lovers. So there'll be a link to their stuff in there too, just for fun. We got some great shows coming up next week. Robin Flanagan of Crimson Pirates and Chris Liedenfrost of The Greatest Pirate Story Never Told together in the same show. Yeah, man. It's going to be great. A week after that, Faith Pierce of Finding Your Neverland. That's a really cool one. That is outside the box thinking on her part, and you're going to dig that one. And that's all I've got in the can right now, but I do have another 5 interviews on the calendar to get done in the next couple of weeks. So as soon as those are in the can, I will let you know what those are. By the way, after I do an interview, I usually put up a little post on the Facebook page there if you want to, get the latest up-to-date information about who's going to be on the show. Make sure to go over to under the Facebook. Under the Facebook. Don't go to Under the Facebook. I don't know what that is. Now I feel like I need to go buy that domain. Go to facebook.com/underthecrossbones and you can get the up-to-the-second news about who's going to be on the show. All right, so that's it for this week, and I will see you next time. Thanks.